it into your heart. Say, you know what if? What if this is my message for the world? What if this is the impact that I want to make? What if this that I take away today is the gift that someone outside that I'm going to see at the gas station, at the Stop and Shops, or the Walmarts of the world, or maybe just someone you've seen on Facebook for the first time, and you don't know why you see their story, but yet that's your opening opportunity to reach out and say, hey, may I ask you a question? Are you open to having a conversation? When's the last time someone said, how are you doing, and really cared? That's who we are in Isagenix. And that's what's helped me to realize how special each and every one of our lives are, and that the information that comes to us is not just for us. The experiences that we go through aren't just for us. It's for us now to share what's possible, our experiences, what we've learned along the way, and then hand out those keys. So, as Chelsea gets ready to rock and roll and crush her story, I just want you to know, everybody to know in here that, you know what, we love each other, we don't judge each other, we move forward with each other, and we look each other in the face and say, you know what, because you showed up today, so am I. Let's go, Isagenix.
It's too much of a linear curve. I need to have something more exponential. I can have more freedom and more time.
Yeah, and that happens a lot. I mean, like we saw on the graph, even though you own your own business, it's still in the linear. We'll use you as our last one for this section. Go ahead.
Me?
Yep.
Oh, hi. I'm a photographer, and I think a lot of times people don't often value what your service, what you do, and there's a lot of behind-the-scenes work, not just standing there taking pictures of the bride and the groom or the family. There's a lot of work that goes into the afterwards, the editing, and often the time and the money don't add up.
Yeah, time and money don't add up. Who else feels that way in their life? Yeah. All right, I want to do one last category, and then we're going to jump into a positive note. Who here is like a social worker, a teacher, somebody who does something for the community? Nurses, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. All right. And we're going to go real quick, so raise your hand nice and high so we know who they are. We can run mics out to you guys, but go ahead.
So I'm a dance instructor, and when the studio's closed, we don't get paid, we get no vacation, and just like the photographer, there's hours behind the scenes choreographing that. Don't get paid.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, we have one right here, go ahead.
I'm a clinical social worker, and I'm on call all the time, and it's just really stressful.
Stressful, on call all the time. All right, let's see, Erin, do you want to?
I was a teacher, and I knew that even if I stayed in the profession and worked for 35, 40 years, the most I would ever make was like $85,000.
Yeah, really underpaid. Go ahead, back there.
I spend all my time with someone else's children instead of my own.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm a clinical social worker as well, and I work in the emergency room, so it's emotional burnout is a real thing.
Yeah, yeah, emotional burnout. All right, last one back here.
Hi, I'm piggybacking off Melinda, but basically I was teaching first grade and preschool for so long that I couldn't fathom leaving my babies to be with other babies, and now I'm full-time Isagenix and I get to be with my children. Thank you.
Yes! Woo! Well, that is going to be a perfect transition, because I want you guys to stand up if you are full-time in network marketing. Some of the things that you heard in the first one is like undervalued, not getting paid, someone else dictating my time, emotional burnout, and that happens across the board. Well, let's hear some of the benefits of the things that you get if you are full-time in network marketing. We're going to pop off really quickly, so I just want you to yell it out because you guys should be so excited to meet tonight. So, all right, let's start. Freedom. Time freedom.
Paid maternity leave.
Paid maternity leave. Vacation when I want.
Ability to earn what you want.
Earn what you want and what you're worth.
Being around awesome people.
Being around awesome people.
When my mom was sick
And Downing, I was able to take care of her without ever having to worry about anything.
Being there for her mom when she was sick and dying without having to worry about anyone telling her she couldn't.
Same, more time with family, more time with your kids. I can drive him to school and come home and start my day. You know,
Yeah.
you design your day.
So many people want to bring their kids to school in the morning. Let's go, over here.
Oh, I was like, I actually homeschool, so I wouldn't be able to do that if I didn't.
Homeschooling your kids, that's awesome.
Me and my husband get to pick up my son from the school bus every day.
Picking up their kids from the school bus every single day.
Spending time with my spouse all the time.
Imagine the opposite.
traffic is going to work in 4 lanes of traffic, and I'm going to the gym.
Love it. Abby, I see you in the back. I want to hear one from you.
I was just going to say that being able to raise my children 100% with my husband there, not having to miss out any moments together, and design our days around our kids first, and then work our business.
I love it. I love it. Joe.
Being around positive people.
Being around positive people all the time. Laura. Flexibility. Right. Over here. Fun. It's fun. Anyone else agree it's fun? Anyone else want to shout out one from the back?
Motivated daily.
Motivated
Basically.
daily.
No mandatory vaccines.
No mandatory vaccines. I'm there to get back. Dad, you want to shout one out?
Picking the people you want to work with.
Yeah. Anyone in this group right here say?
Just being able to raise my granddaughter who is, has a single mom and being there for her every day.
Yeah.
For us, we're retired and we're able to now travel the world. It just gives us a residual income, additional income, and we just loving life.
Retiring and being able to travel the world. So many people retire and they're trapped, right?
I was going to say the same thing.
Travel the world.
2% of all people that retire cannot maintain. Only 2% of all people that retire will only maintain their lifestyle based on when they work, based on why they're retired. And Isagenix allowed us to do both.
Never miss a moment with my family, build a legacy for my children, and giving this gift.
Love it. Back here?
Earning a paycheck with a comma when I was hanging with a lot of you at the Grand Cayman Islands.
Last one, we're wrapping up. You
Be able to say yes to all the things.
Okay. Saying yes to all the things. So I just wanted to give you guys a little opportunity to see, like, it's not just me up here presenting, but it's you guys.
And my wife asked me, what did I want to be? Now that was weird because she asked me what I wanted to be, not what I wanted to do, right? If she asked me what I wanted to do, I probably would have said, well, I'm going to try real hard to become like a manager at Target or something, right? But she asked me what I wanted to be, and it opened up this idea to me where I said, scientist. Oh my goodness, I felt embarrassed. We're in the backyard playing catch, back and forth, and I tell her I wanted to be a scientist to help people change their life. More good would happen than me ultimately sitting behind some lab bench trying to come up with that next drug. Think about that. If we just all of a sudden started to make healthy choices in our life, we would have a huge impact. Now, I always like to use this as an example because I think it helps resonate. The greatest thing that has changed health and wellness for the world boils down to one thing. Who knows what it is? I've used this example before. There's one advancement in the last 500 years that has absolutely dwarfed all other. Wash your hands. How crazy is that? Simple. And the reason it's done so much, hundreds of millions of lives are saved a year because of this. And the reason it's been so impactful is just because of 3 things. 1, it's a simple tool, a little bit of soap. Right? That's it. 2, a little bit of education. Twinkle, twinkle, little star on the warm one. And 3rd, it is taught and enforced by the ones that love us, rather than some health professional requiring some prescription. And because of that, it's propagated throughout all the globe and has changed so many people's lives. Now, when you think about it, the reason I came to Isagenix is they have those 3 solutions. They have all 3 of those parts. 1, it's a simple tool. Instead of eating something with golden arches that's pushed by a clown, have a shake instead. Simple tool. A little bit of education. Milk mixed with water, blend, drink. Right? And then 3rd, and the most important, is that it's taught by our peers and encouraged by our peers. Oh, all of these things, but yet McDonald's alone spends $1 billion a year marketing to you and your children to eat more. And yet we're just kind of sitting here being like, well, that's the way life is. It isn't. You have the ability to make those few critical decisions that drastically change the outcome of your life. I have slides. I don't know what they are. I'm just going to keep going. I usually say, don't give me slides, because then I'm... All right, we'll leave it here. So what we have is we have all of these different things, these challenges that we have. How can we ultimately be empowered? As I said before, let me tell you a little bit about the food industry. Largest industry in the world. It dwarfs the oil industry, it dwarfs the real estate industry, the food industry. Huge. Huge. In fact, it's about 10% of the global economy is food. Right? That is crazy. And so when you think about it, here's this huge industry, trillions of dollars at stake every year. And do you think there's a couple of executives up there saying, well, how can we make sure people don't eat as much? Let's make sure they eat food that's healthy. Let me tell you about something that happened. In the 1920s, 30s, there all of a sudden became this wonderful thing called white bread. Scientists found that there's three parts to the wheat. There's the wheat bran, the wheat germ, and the wheat starch. By ultimately removing the wheat bran and the wheat germ, leaving just the wheat starch, the shelf life of the bread has increased tremendously, right? You know, isn't it crazy? You have a loaf of bread on your countertop, you go on vacation, come back 2 weeks later, and you went up for bologna, it's still good. Right? That doesn't seem right. You know? But they found it. Now what they also found is by just having the wheat starch by itself, there's a dopamine spike in the brain. Dopamine is the neurotransmitter that says keep doing what you're doing. Right? People who are addicted to gambling, for example, dopamine spike every time they're gambling. Keep doing it. It's what causes the addictive behaviors. And dopamine, coupled with serotonin, also arouses an appetite. So for example, when you're smelling your Thanksgiving turkey, you may not be hungry, but as soon as you smell that, a dopamine spike and a serotonin spike increase that says, go out and eat a little bit more. Right? Now the food industry got wind of this. Dopamine, the same thing that happens when people are addicted to gambling, the same thing that happens when people take cocaine, lights up the brain. Hey, we can do this with food. All of a sudden they start putting it in, they start manipulating all of the food, start engineering all of the food to be nothing more than an illicit drug under the cloak of Oreos. I'm not jacking. This is one of the funniest, I don't want to call it funniest, this is one of the greatest experiments. It is rather ironic. They gave mice cocaine and Oreos, right? In essence, they just gave these mice as much cocaine and Oreos as they wanted. It was like the 1980s. These mice were loving life, they had their mullets. As they then they went through withdrawals, they pulled both the Oreos and the cocaine back. At one end of the maze, they gave Oreos. At the other end of the maze, they had cocaine. Guess where the mice went? The Oreos. Oh, we kind of chuckle, but how many times have we had an Oreo? And then the next thing you know, you're waking up in your neighbor's gutter like, whoa, what was that? Oreo dust all over your face. That was pretty intense. Right? That is by design. And to the tune of us consuming roughly 600 calories more a day than we did 30 years ago, oh, it's those executives up there that are like, well done, right? Because they look at it as nothing more than ultimately a little bit more food, money in our pockets. And that's all we are today. It's just a means to the end. And so however long they can ultimately make sure that we are consuming more and more and more, they win. And so now, we find it everywhere. You guys, like, when you go to a steakhouse, you guys ever done that and they give you these rolls to begin with?
Texas Roadhouse.
Hey, hon,
Roadhouse.
I'm going to save some money. You order water, I'll order water, let's fill up on rolls and we're good. Let's get out of here, right? And you have that first roll, right? And then the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth, right? You keep eating it. And you're like, why would they give you all of this free stuff before they even take your order? Well, because what they're doing is that actually stimulates dopamine to where now you are in this kind of this high, and your body is just craving more. And so you started off maybe looking at the menu like, oh yes, the Caesar, no, the 42 ounce porterhouse. And you find ultimately that they've given this to you as nothing more to ultimately increase your appetites to order. And so these are the onslaughts that we are facing each and every day. And the reason that I wanted to highlight the mothers in the beginning is because I don't do this for me. Like, come on. We do this for the next generation because this is the first generation since the Black Plague where our children are expected to live shorter lives than we are. And I have 4 children, and I dread the moment that my daughter has, or she comes back and says, Dad, how am I going to tell my husband and my children that I have blah? When I know a lot of these choices, a lot of these problems we face today could have been prevented if we just embraced a healthy lifestyle. Now, one of the most powerful things that can help right a lot of the wrongs we face is intermittent fasting. Who's heard of this? Yeah, you know, it's kind of a trending thing. You know, it's like, how did so-and-so get the Avengers body for intermittent fasting, right? You'll see this pop up. But it's one of these things to where, how many of us have tried to do it before, right? Like, after your second bowl of ice cream on a Sunday night. Tomorrow, I'm not eating at all. I'm not doing it. I'm going to fast all day. And then you wake up in the morning and you're like, I smell bacon. I wouldn't have made that promise last night if I knew there was going to be bacon this morning. Right? Or, you know, you power through, you say no to the bacon. At Isagenix, we have meal replacement shakes for not $10, for $3. That is perfectly balanced in its fats, carbohydrates. Wait, he said the evil word. Carbohydrates and protein to give your body what it needs. Now, there's diets out there that are like avoid carbohydrates. They're absolutely evil. Newsflash, guess what? Your brain can only feed off of carbohydrates. These diets that have no carbohydrates, the people that are telling you this are likely cross-eyed. Glucose, which is carbohydrate, is the only type of energy source that will actually cross the blood-brain barrier. Individuals, for example, that are on keto diets was originally designed for children with epileptic seizures to help mitigate the amount of fuel given to the brain to potentially help draw that. And yet now it's being propagated throughout without any long-term studies of this. We're sitting here saying, hey everyone, starve the brain. I'm sure starve the brain, what's wrong, right? And now what it is we need a way to make sure that we get those balanced components. So that when we have a meal, we feel good. All of the vitamins and minerals that our body is needing to actually metabolize those energy sources of fats, carbs, and protein. Right? I want to repeat that. Why do we need nutrients? It's actually to convert the energy sources, the fats, the proteins, the carbohydrates, into actual energy our body can use. Right? Because we eat those macros, as we call them, but it doesn't do anything to our body unless we have those vitamins that come in. They are critical in converting all of that into functional energy to help us move, feel awake, feel alert, to think. Right? But the problem is our food chain today is so robbed of vitamins and minerals. How many times we go, we'll eat like 2,000 calories at this fast food place. We come back to work and we're tired. We just ate enough energy to fuel Las Vegas for a month. How are we tired? It's because you're simply lacking those nutrients to convert it. And they'll lead you to believe, well, it's because your stomach is digesting the food. All of that energy is going to digest. No. You just simply don't have the nutrients to convert those macros into functional energy called ATP, what your body uses. And so without those nutrients, your body is saying, whoa, 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 look at all this energy coming in, but I can't convert it. We're tired. Store it. Vitamins, spinach today. What is, or kale, these like superfoods, have like just 30-40% of the nutrients they had 60 years ago. Right? Like today, we try to get our kids to eat healthy. That is the challenge we face today. And so with our fruits and vegetables just having 40%, but yet our kids eating significantly less. The average individual consumes less than 2 servings of vegetables a day. You're supposed to have like 5. And then look at only being as 40% is nutritious. Man, our kids get more nutritional value when we ask them to run through a cornfield. Right? And that's the challenges we face. And so to get these things into our children, just too challenging, right? So that's the beautiful thing with the Isagenix. Simply give them a shake. It's great. They're getting all they need. They're getting those vitamins. They're getting those minerals. They're even getting these things called trace minerals, meaning they're in such small quantities in our body. Like, if you broke down your body, it's like 80% oxygen, 20% nitrogen, whatever it is, and you got like 0.0001%, like these random little minerals. So we call them trace minerals because they're just so small. Most people just ignore them. They don't put them anywhere, right? But we know our body needs them. That's the equivalent of the mechanic coming out and building a plane and saying, "Well, there's 5 bolts left over, but take her up." Right? No one would do it, but that's the nutritional equivalent of what most people are doing. Like, they don't need it. There's a small amount. They don't need it. Go. Right? But you're only as strong as your weakest link. So it even contains those trace minerals in there to give you what you need. So you're saving money. You're getting all of the things your body needs in properly balanced, formulated example. Now the third one. Once a week, cleanse. Meaning, here, look at this. I'm actually telling you guys, don't eat the shakes. Right? Don't. You go without. How is that possible? There's a guy on stage telling us to buy Isagenix, but he's telling me not to? Like, what's going on? Leverage the benefit. By taking the shakes for breakfast and lunch throughout the week, your body is ultimately gearing up to where when it decides to cleanse, it's not that difficult. Your body is calibrated in its true form of the calories it needs. Right? The reason that it's so hard to cleanse for the average individual is because every day they're consuming 3,000 calories a day of highly addictive processed foods. But now, doing this for 5, 6 days and then cleansing, it's so much easier. And the third product in this that I want to talk about is cleanse. This is something that you can take throughout the day. It helps make it easier for you, to cleanse, but also it empowers and enables your organs to more effectively utilize their properties as your body is removing those forever chemicals. We're exposed, some people believe, upwards of 200 to 400 toxic chemicals a day. We need to cleanse on a regular basis. I cleanse every week. I encourage you guys to do the same. And the Isagenix system is a way that makes it easier for you to do it and saves you money throughout the month with respect to food. So, really, the only thing that's stopping you from moving forward is logic. So if it's not making sense to you, your logic's wrong. Right? It is a simple system that really enables you to maximize the benefits of intermittent fasting and to not do it on your own because too many of us fail. And it is something we need to be doing every day. Now, the results speak for themselves. Right? A lot of times in this industry, this is why I absolutely love Isagenix. In this industry, they'll say, well, does it work? And they'll usually give something like, well, I'll put somebody up to say it works. Isagenix has literally done numerous studies, several studies. And these are third-party studies that have been published in scientific peer-reviewed journals. 56% more weight loss, 47% more fat loss, twice as much visceral fat loss. You guys know what visceral fat is? Part of the bathing suit doesn't cover, right? That is the beautiful thing. But what speaks more to this isn't just the weight loss and the fat loss, but really all of the other things that are attributed with the intermittent fasting. They experience more lean muscle growth, right? You're detoxifying, all of those things as well. The power of this system speaks volumes to where, every company has their disclaimer. You know, they'll put somebody up, and you notice this on TV. They show somebody that lost 100 pounds, and it's like, results are not typical. Average results include nothing, right? Average results include no change, right? This is what's beautiful. Guess what Isagenix disclaimer is? Average results are 2 pounds of weight loss a week. That's the average. That means people who quit, right? And just kept their studies going. 2 pounds. The next highest company that I've seen is a ½ pound. Which means when you think about the average results, if you sat back and said, man, 12 weeks, 24 pounds down, who wouldn't do that? And that's the average. Now, here's the beautiful thing. Once you come into Isagenix and you start having these benefits, you realize the power of these products. All of a sudden, you're going to want to start doing other things. Who here likes to exercise? That's about 60% of the room. By the way, a recent study of New England individuals shows that about 60% of people are dishonest. Nobody likes to exercise. Who are you fooling? Nobody likes exercise. No, that's not true. Nobody likes to start to exercise. Everyone, right? It's not like when somebody comes back from the gym. Have you ever noticed that? Anyone who has like a significant other? You'll be sitting down, they'll go to the gym, they'll come back, they'll be all chipper. They're never like, oh man, I wish I didn't do that, even though we wish they'd say that. You know, we'd be sitting on the couch the whole time, like, look at you, old go-getter, right? But here's the thing, right? The alarm goes off at 5 a.m. Nobody likes to start to exercise, but once you go, nobody regrets it. Nobody comes back saying, oh man, I wish I didn't go out and exercise today, right? But at 5 a.m. when that alarm goes off, all of a sudden you become the biggest hypochondriac in the world. You're laid in your bed, and all of a sudden you're thinking like, yeah, my big toe, it's feeling numb. I might have a stroke today, better late. Right? But we want to exercise. Our body craves it. Who's heard of a runner's high? That is not folklore. That actually exists. But the problem is that to get that runner's high, it takes about 45 to 60 days. Meaning regular exercise every day, about 45 to 60 days, your body's all of a sudden like, oh, it's when I exercise that I feel good. Let's do it more, right? So who exercises every day? All right. Let's see. Keep your hands up. All right. 2 individuals here. I'm putting you on the spot. Okay, so what happens? What's your name? Andrew. Andrew? And what's your name? Alicia. What happens if Andrew goes a couple days without exercising? What's his temperament like? So cranky. Well, I should probably preface this. What's his temperament like when he does exercise? Less cranky? Less cranky. All right, but this is the thing, right? So Andrew, who goes out and exercises every day, all of a sudden he's got this addiction. He's got this dopamine going on when he exercises. His body's craving it. And then he doesn't exercise a few days. It's the equivalent of somebody trying to quit smoking. Irritable, grouchy, right? You don't want to be around them. They're really cranky. It's because the body is saying, give me my cigarette, i.e. exercise. Now, how cool is it if we actually leverage that dopamine to things that make us feel better, look better, and be better? And that's the thing. With exercise, it's there. But the problem is most of us can't get to the 60 days. We've also got lines of products like our AMP products that help you get the results you're looking for faster, so that when 5 a.m. comes and you do it for the first week, you start to look in the mirror and you're seeing something. And then you're encouraging yourself to go again. And then before you know it, you're there 60 days, and now you're an Andrew. Yeah, every day, I like this, right? But the problem is most of us don't, like 80% or something crazy high number of gym memberships are sold in the month of January. Have you guys ever gone to the gym in October? No, because no one does. Right? We never get to the 60 days. And so, as you're an Isagenix, you're also going to see we have a variety of different products that enable you and your family to have a lifestyle, utilizing natural components that give you the results you're looking for. When somebody thinks Isagenix, what they really need to think, right? We're the most trusted and respected health and wellness company, and because of that, you will get the results you're looking for. Now, this is the wonderful thing, right? How many people, as we come out with new products, have tried this? Wow, this was the biggest launch in Isagenix history. Well done. Well done. I don't know, whoever came up with this one just probably deserves a promotion. I'll tell you a little bit about this. First ever drink with raw vitamins in them. Let me tell you about the raw vitamins. This raw vitamin means it's the actual vitamins that are found from the fruits and vegetables. This is like, most people are like, wait, what?
I'm joining the party.
Raw vitamins from the fruits and vegetables. Meaning all of those vitamins that you see up there, they're not added in. All of those vitamins in there are coming from the broccoli, shiitake mushroom, maitake mushroom, and all those other things. It gets the vitamin D from shiitake mushroom. We put the shiitake mushroom in there, we put the broccoli in there, we put all of those other botanicals and fruits and vegetables in there, and that's where you're getting all of that crazy vitamins. Now here's what's amazing. Because they are raw, their natural state, your body, it's like the perfect puzzle piece. It fits perfectly. Right? It's like after you've got that 1,000-piece puzzle, that last one that just seems to just fit so beautifully. That is exactly how that raw vitamin fits into the metabolic pathways that your body needs to convert the Saudi Arabia into functional energy. And so when you talk about this, the perfect combination of putting those raw vitamins in an energy drink, when people see this, you'll be like, man, when I take this, I'm feeling something I've never had before. It's called energy. And what you're getting is you're tapping into the energy that your body has. And it is a completely unique type. Coupling this with other products such as green tea to boost metabolism. Oh, Cleanse Day approved, right? So how awesome is this when you're on Cleanse Day? You're cracking these things open and now you have more energy than ever. Like, people are like, wait, you've been going like 24 hours without eating? How are you even alive? And you're bouncing off the walls, loving life. It's because you are absolutely detoxifying your body of all these hazardous chemicals, simultaneously utilizing all of this stored energy that's been following you around since your awkward prepubescent days. Now you're releasing it, and you're feeling the boost of metabolism and energy that's coupling with it, and that is why this has been the biggest launch in Isagenix history. And stay tuned, we've got some other flavors coming down the pipe.
Whoa!